Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. Alrighty, so here we are on Sunday the 16th of July 2017 for another round of releases to go through this week. So we're going to jump straight into it this week for the guys over at Garrett. So Garrett have brought to us now their latest release, which is the 690B Turbo Commander. So of course, when they released their 500 Commander earlier, or sort of earlier this year, last year, we were sort of only going to be a matter of time before we eventually saw the Turbo Commander, and indeed Garrett released some work in progress images a while ago, and then it went very quiet, and then of course it's now come crashing onto the scene now and available for our simulation pleasure. Essentially, the Turbo Commander takes the standard Commander, lengthens it a bit, makes it a bit bigger, a few more passengers, a bit more cargo, and whacks two great big Garrett turboprops on the side. I personally am really intrigued by this. Garrett turboprops, I've had a very intimate personal relationship with Garrett turboprops, mostly attached to Metroliners throughout my life, and I'm always interested to see how people model Garretts and their notorious slow spool up times and behaviours. So it's a very interesting, and I really look forward to seeing what Carinado have done with this one. Now, looking at the screenshots and the video that has been released by Garrett, it does look quite stunning. As usual, it is fully compatible with the Reality XP gauges, as well as supporting its own Garrett's own GNS 530. Coming with stock standard 4096 HD textures, the usual volumetric side propeller effects, and dynamic volumetric and dynamic propeller effects, along with a beautiful customized sound set incorporating those Garrett turboprops. Looking quite amazing as well, with some usual looking quality animations as well. As I said, I'm very impressed with the screenshots looking at this one. I hope it does pan out. Interestingly enough, this is fully compatible across the ESP and extended ESP range, including FSX Steam and prepared version 2 through 4. So always good to see that one. To see that the Garrett are backwards supporting and actually going to continue to develop, hopefully continue to develop for legacy platforms, at least for a little bit longer as well. So yes, but yes, this one is available now either direct from Garrett for $40 the original equivalent, or from your favorite flight sim retailer, available now. In other flight simulation releases this week, there was really only one other flight simulation release this week that I can actually find, and that was the guys over at Tropical Sim. So Tropical Sim have come back. They had a couple of releases over the last few months, and they're back again with Antartica 2017. So this is an update for their existing scenery. And if you are a previous owner of their previous version of this, you will get a discount if you purchase it through the same retailer. But as I said, the Antartica 2017 is updated for the airport as it appears at the start of 2017, and it serves as one of the primary international airports for this part of the Caribbean, including being sort of a bit of a history there as a Royal Naval base during the era before aviation, and continuing on being a important colonial destination post aviation invention. So yeah, really kind of cool. Very highly detailed rendition of the airport, as I said, including the new terminal building. With fully compatible with SOD animated jetways, optional 3D lights included with that one as well, and multiple options to be able to do dynamic ground effects, including for sort of wet surfaces as well. And it is supporting across the ESP platform, including FSX and prepared version 2 through 4. What is cool as well about this one is that these guys have leveraged off the new SDK for prepared version 4, including the dynamic lighting and dynamic and custom ground materials as well. So really looking quite impressive. I must admit that the screenshots from prepared version 4 do look quite impressive, especially the night ones. So yes, if you are wanting to pick this one up, this one is available now from Sim Market, coming in at just over 15, so about 17 euros. So around about $20 available now from Sim Market. Alrighty, in other simulation news and releases for the week, we've got moving now into the world of the permanent way, and we've got the train simulators. So, train simulators, we've got a couple of releases this week. So, this first one is a very interesting freight route. So, this is in the in Germany, on the outskirts of Berlin. So, sort of like the eastern parts of Germany, but still part of Germany proper. And it's very interesting and it's part of this one. So this is actually, although it's a route by itself, it actually requires another route in order for you to actually be able to work and actually be able to connect it to it. So it's actually part of the. It extends the Berlin-Leipzig route. So if you don't have that route, you're not going to be able to get the advantage of this one. So you do require that. It is required. But what it does, it gives you a 40-kilometer extension to your tracks of this one, but gives you 6 additional stations and really goes through a lot of the fact that, and having spent some time in Germany, I can back this up, that Germany has some very dynamic scenery. And where you will go from scenery which is very modern and 21st century, and then literally within a couple of miles you'll be in something that looks like it's straight out of the 1500s. And this is been recreated as part of this content here in this add-on. But most importantly, though, it's actually going to be. It actually recreates the Seddon freight yards, which still serve to this day as a main hub of actual freight distribution throughout Western Europe. So a very cool and very important location, this one. So yeah, this one does include, as I said, it does include the entire Seddon rail freight yard as well as a 40-kilometer extension of the Berlin-Leipzig route. You get 6 additional stations and 6 career scenarios for this add-on, as well as one new train. So you get a DB BR232 of a Pro Range standard, which is always pretty cool. So you get some pretty good value into this one here, especially this coming here for $20. So this is actually coming from the Aerosoft guys. So you can pick this one up now. You can either pick it up available from the Aerosoft website, or you can pick it up from Steam, coming in at around about $20, the original equivalent, available now. And rounding out the simulation releases for this week. Now, this thing looks absolutely... It's, again, still Train Simulator, but this thing looks like it would be more at home in Fallout, in the Fallout universe, than it does in the real world, in a Train Simulator universe. But it did actually exist. So this is the Aerotrain. So this was created by General Motors as sort of like a technology demonstrator slash, attention-grabbing sort of one of the things. This is what we can do. Unfortunately, not as successful as they probably hoped. There's only ever 3 of them built. And primarily they were used for marketing and PR purposes, but in the end they were extensively used on the Rock Island Railway and railway routes for the rest of their lives. But it just looks so damn futuristic. As I said, like, this thing seriously looks like it belongs in the Fallout universe. It really does. I'm seriously tempted to get this just to muck around with it, because it just looks so damn cool. It really does. Anyway, but as I said, it's a very highly detailed representation of the Aerotrain, streamlined, and it just looks absolutely amazing. It's a very iconic 1950s design. It really is. So powered by an LWT12 locomotive underneath the hood there, with some very custom, very specific design railway stock for it as well. So looking pretty cool. This one comes with 4 career scenarios included. This one. So Aerotrain. So basically, it's taking you to two routes to Pittsburgh and 2 routes to Philadelphia. Just a word of note, though, as we often see with a lot of these content for Train Simulator, is that it does require a separate add-on if you do want to be able to use the career scenarios. You will require the Horseshoe Curve route to be a part of your collection if you do want to use it. So just bear that in mind. Otherwise, if you do want to pick this up and make it part of your collection, coming in at $20, available now on Steam. Alrighty, so that rounds out the releases for this week. However, I do want to touch on one other sort of very topical conversation that's sort of going on at the moment, and that, of course, is the updating of content to Lockheed Martin's prepared version 4. So this week we saw a couple of release updates come through, primarily this time from Carronado. So Carronado have updated a whole slew of their content now. So about half of their content now, actually more than half of their content is now fully compatible with prepared version 4. Now there is a little thing on their website. Just head straight over to Carinator.com where you can see it now. If you purchase direct from Carinator, you can either download it, or you may require you may require a new serial. Otherwise, if you're purchasing from resellers, you may require a new serial as well, and all that information is available on Carinator's website. But yeah, there's a huge slew of their range is now available. The big one for me was the fact that the Beech 1900 and the Cessna 337 Skymaster are both available. That was a big one for me. Sadly, for some reason the King Air 200 is not available yet, and that's one that I'm really waiting on. It's one of my favorite aircrafts to fly. So yeah, but yeah, as I said, that is available. So there's information is available. More, keep an eye on that. The other, of course, the release news or sort of updates came from the guys over at Rex Studios. So of course, Rex bringing us very high quality textures for our simulation experience. They've announced that although nothing's available yet, they are estimating that we will see a early version or a for initial release of Rex Soft Clouds will be available in the next sort of 7 days. We will potentially also be seeing updates to Rex 4 Texture Direct and the Texture Directs with Soft Clouds combo. We'll be seeing those in sort of July, August, and they've listed a whole heap of their other releases as well, including Worldwide Airports HD will be coming to us in probably September. So again, keep an eye on the Rex Studios Facebook page or on their forums for more updates on that one. And before we go, there's in other update releases information as well. So the guys over at Dovetail Games with Flight Sim World, they've released their latest version for early access for Flight Sim World. So this one saw a few more tweaks and updates. Big one being now that you can actually add passenger models and additional models into the actual aircraft for purposes of missions and things like that. So very interesting choice and path, because that's something that's often been complained about. It was hard to manage in previous flight sims of all varieties. The fact that there's no real dynamic sort of passenger loading and visual representation of that. So interesting to see that we actually got that representation coming through now in Flight Sim World. So another great release for that, along with a slew of bug fixes. All of the details available on the Steam page for that one. Alright folks, that does now round out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.